Excuse me. Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this HP Omen. This is an Omen laptop model. It's really hard to read, but 15-EK0013DX. Alright? I don't know if there's a special name to this. If somebody knows, just let me know, and I will add that to the title. Anyways, what's going on with this is it's giving this boot device not found hard disk error. So most likely the SSD went bad. So apparently there's two SSDs in here. We're going to open it up and see if we can test one at a time. Hopefully it's the Intel Optane, not the Samsung SSD that's in here, because the Intel Optane is only a 32 gig. It's meant as like cache storage kind of thing to speed it up. We're going to use a PH1 or JAS1 screwdriver. You want to keep the screws in order. The way I do that, I put them flat side down like that. In the pattern, I remove them. So you got 4 across here and 4 down here. So I'll put them on my desk. All right, in that pattern. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove all these screws. If this video helps you, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can also learn how to upgrade and repair their devices. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. These are customer computer repairs, so keep that in mind. I won't have these computers, excuse me, I have hiccups, but keep that in mind. I won't have these computers by the time you see these videos. All right. And also, because these are customer computers, I don't take apart things that aren't required for the repair because I don't want to risk damaging other things. All right, anyways, now that we got all the screws out, we're going to use a suction cup here. We're just going to stick it on there, and then I'm going to use my fingernail. You can use a plastic pry tool or whatever to hold this edge down, and then we're just going to pull this up. All right, just like that. All right, you want to be careful, and then you can kind of like wiggle this and pull this out. All right, it's a little bit dusty here and here. Excuse me, it's hard to see in the camera, but there you go. And then it's dusty on the fan. So I'm gonna clean the dust up here, and then I'll be back. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. So we cleaned out this, cleaned out that, cleaned out the fans. There was a lot of dust stuck in there. I might lift out the fans if it's easy enough, just to see, because I don't want dust staying in there. Excuse me. All right, I'm not sure why, but they put different colors of these here. I think that's for the manufacturer, so they put the right sized rubber spacers there. All right, let's see if these fans come out easily. So I see 3 screws here. I'm gonna just remove these 3 screws on each side. Man, these hiccups suck. All right, but let's see. Hopefully they designed this nice. Sometimes they'll tuck stuff underneath. It's partially coming out. Oh, that sucks. Okay, I think they tucked it underneath the heat sink. So sadly, if you want to remove the fans, you would have to take out the heat sink, it looks like, because they do tuck the fan underneath. So because of that, I'm gonna just put this back together. Hopefully blowing it out with my powerful air blower was good enough. All right, that wasn't the issue they brought their computer in here for. It's just something I like to do to make sure people's computers last longer. All right, the fan connectors are tucked underneath the heatsink, so it is, at least for the GPU fan. So this is the GPU fan, this is the CPU fan. GPU and CPU. GPU is soldered to the motherboard, CPU is soldered to the motherboard. Excuse me. If you're gonna mess with the LCD LVDS connector here, you do want to make sure to disconnect the battery, open up the laptop, and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Otherwise, you could easily damage this, your screen, or the the keyboard backlight circuit. All right, you got the DC jack charge port connector here. There's this connector. It looks like one where you kind of just wiggle it to pull it out. And then you got some screws holding this in place. I'm not seeing the hinge mount screws, so they're probably underneath the, underneath the motherboard. It looks like there is a motherboard model number here, DA0G3EMB CD0 revision D. I don't know if there's more written under there. It doesn't look like it. Okay, let's see what else we got here. This fan, the connector's out in the open, but again, it's probably tucked underneath the heatsink. Okay, got 2 sticks of RAM here. There's an 8 gig PC4 3200 AA. So you can get any PC4 3200 RAM and it should work fine, but here you go. If you want, you can get two 16 gig sticks. Sorry, my hiccups are really annoying. There's a model number here, G3EA. I'm not sure what that's for. Excuse me. All right. I'm not going to pull the battery out, but there is the battery here. Battery model number SD06. I think that's XL. They covered it with a sticker, which is annoying. They also have the HP spare part number here. L84392-005. Okay, so if you need to replace the battery, there's that information. This thing says keyboard type 0, so I'm not sure if this is... Oh, okay, that's like the model number. Omen, HP Omen laptop 15-EK0013DX. So they put more of that information there. Okay. You got the speaker connector here. This connects underneath the motherboard. There's 2 screws holding it in, and then you can lift the speaker out, it looks like. Okay, doesn't look very difficult. This is, most likely the keyboard backlight connector. They got this connector here. Nothing's connected to it. I'm guessing this smaller one is for the trackpad, and this larger one's for the keyboard. These connectors, you pop up these little latches, the plastic latches, and then you can pull the cables out. Battery connectors right here. If you need to remove the battery, there's 2 screws here. It looks like there's a screw hidden underneath this SSD, and then there's 2 more screws down there. You can lift the battery up, and then you can wiggle this connector and pull it out. I make a lot of videos showing how to do these kinds of things, so if you want to see that, you'll probably want to check my videos over there. All right, so let's go ahead and pop out the SSD, excuse me. Oh, also the wireless card is soldered to the motherboard. It's not replaceable. All right. Oh, excuse me. All right, so there's 1 screw holding down each SSD. So we'll take out these 2 screws. And then they have this heat sink here. So it lifts up like that. And then you can go ahead and wiggle and pull this out. Okay, so here's the SSD. These are both M.2 PCIe NVMe SSDs. This one shouldn't be needed for running. Excuse me. Actually, this one says SATA, so I don't know. They label it as SATA, but I think it's PCIe NVMe as well. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, this is also a NVMe SSD. Okay, and as you can see, you can pull the SSD off from the heat shield. Okay. Alright, so here you see there's this connector here for the SD card slot. There's also a model number there if you need it. Okay, DA0G3ETH revision D. I don't know if there's some... Oh, there's other stuff under there, but it's covered by the battery, so if you, or the speaker. So if you want that, you'll probably have to look that up. I think the last one is an 8. I don't know if there's any other letters or numbers after that. Excuse me. Okay, so I don't know why it has all these extra connectors here, maybe for like fingerprint sensors and stuff, but there's 2 connectors there not being used by anything. All right, I don't know where this USB board goes. I don't know if it runs underneath. I don't see any cables. Oh, actually there's a cable. So these two USB ports are connected with a connector cable under there. So if you break that, it is replaceable as well. Then you got this small connector up there, which, oops, let's open this up. I'm not sure, but that might be specifically for the power button. Okay, so the computer's off right now, as you can see. I'm gonna try putting back just the PCIe NVMe, the Samsung SSD. This is a 1 terabyte SSD. I don't know if that's what it came with or if it's an aftermarket upgrade that the customer did. But anyways, let's go ahead and put this back in. So you put it slightly at an angle. I like to pinch the two together like that, and then we can put that down, and then this SSD can go on top. So I'm going to assume that the customer was using it with this SSD before, so I don't know why it says SATA there, okay? Because then if that's the case, that means it can run with two PCIe NVMe SSDs. The other side here doesn't say anything, so all right. So we got that SSD in. We're gonna leave the Intel Optane one out, and let's go ahead and power it up and see if we get anything different. All right, I'm gonna leave it up on its back like this because the cover's off and I don't want to lay that on my desk. Okay, so it does restart a few times. Let's see if anything's gonna happen. I don't know if you can see, the keyboard backlights are coming on and off and on and off. The fans are spinning. I don't know if you can hear that as well. Okay, and it does that a few times before it actually boots up properly. So let's see. Okay, so I see the screen lighting up, and yeah, it's giving a hard disk error. So let's see. I'm gonna power this off. Let's try moving it to the other slot. See if there is something to this being an NVMe and this is a SATA port. Though I don't know, again, if the customer bought it like this, then it should support both. So let's go ahead and test it anyways. I'm gonna put the SSD here. If this Samsung SSD is dead, I'm gonna be surprised because these ones tend to be really good. All right, so let's go ahead and drop that into place. Oops, I stuck it on too early. Release, please. Go. Okay, so we're gonna put that there. Line this up. And push that into place and get that in. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick this back in. All right, let's see if there's any difference because it's not even detecting the hard drive. Okay, let's power it up. And let's try pressing F9 and see if I can select a boot device. Yeah, so as you can see, it's not even seeing the hard drive, so it's just saying boot from EFI file. So no valid file system. So I don't know if the hard drive is just wiped out or if it's actually dead. Because with the Intel Optane one, it takes even longer to boot up. So anyways, I'm gonna actually test the SSD separately. And then after I test the SSD, I'll be back. But pretty much it's straightforward putting it back together. You just put the cover back on, make sure to clip everything in place, and then put the 8 screws back in. But again, I'm going to test the SSD real quick, and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm back. So I checked the SSD, and all there are on here are folders with games on it. There's no operating system. So I'm not sure where he's storing the operating system. I don't know if he's just using this 32 gig purely for the operating system and then it ran out of space or it went bad, because this isn't designed for loading the SSD on it or the operating system, I don't think. But it's 32 gigs, so it might be possible. Anyways, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave this SSD out for now. Alright, and we're just gonna put this thing back in here, and I'm gonna contact the customer, see what they want to do, but most likely that Intel Optane SSD is dead. Excuse me. And then what I'm gonna do is basically just install the operating system onto this. So we'll see what they want to do. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this thing back together. And that should be pretty much it. So again, this thing is very easy to put back together. We'll get all of this back in. I mean, if you're just doing the SSDs and the RAM and the battery, This thing is a pretty nice design, but if you want to change anything else, it's a pain. Alright, so anyways, just get everything back together. Just snap it all back. Excuse me. Make sure everything is lined up. Okay, and just click it all down. I got a customer calling me right now. I think they're outside, but so I'm gonna have to do this quick. But basically, just put all these screws back in, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can also learn how to upgrade and repair their devices. All right. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos. I'm not kidding about that. Even if you can only spare like 5 cents, 25 cents, any little bit is greatly appreciated and allows me to continue doing this. All right. So let's go ahead and get all these screws in. Okay, but that's pretty much it. Okay, oops. There are magnets in here that keep pulling these screws away. So, yeah. But anyways, oh, I keep getting calls from that guy, so I need to hurry up. Alright, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Alright, let's drop this. Bye. Alright, so if you stayed till the end, I found out that the Intel Optane, this thing, actually has a 512 gig SSD combined. So actually I peeled this off. My customer was telling me that the laptop came with the Intel Optane and 500 gig SSD. So I was a little bit confused when all I saw was this. He said that he added the 1 terabyte SSD. So what I did, I decided to peel off this label, and here you can see it has 512 gigs of NAND, so that's a flash memory. Okay, so yeah, this whole SSD went bad. I tried connecting it with a USB adapter and it wouldn't read. So anyways, because it's easy enough to open up, I figured why not move the PCIe NVMe, the SSD that they installed, the 1 terabyte, into the slot where the Intel SSD was. Okay, so because the other one says SATA, I have a feeling maybe it supports PCIe NVMe, but it runs at maybe a lower speed. Probably not, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. If they put the SSD in the other slot, there's probably a reason for it, so we're gonna go ahead and put this put the upgraded SSD in that other slot as well. Okay, so let's go ahead, remove all these screws. Okay, and then we're just gonna pop the cover off again using the suction cup. Again, just get on there, and then hold that down and pull this up. It helps to kind of wiggle it. All right, so there we go. I'm gonna wiggle this. All right, and because the customer opened this before, I don't know if any clips are, the clips all look good, so so they probably opened it right as well. I don't know how what they used to open it, but maybe they did it that way as well. All right, so anyways, let's go ahead and take the heatsink out from here and the heatsink out from here. They look exactly the same, so I don't know if there's a difference, but anyways, let's go ahead and lift this up. Let's flip that over. Let's see if they are different in any way. Let's lift this back out, take that out. Okay, and we'll pull the SSD off of here. Okay, and it look pretty much the same. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the SSD here. All right, we're gonna basically just do a clean install of Windows on there because he was just using that for storage. Because this has the imprints for the Intel drive, I'm gonna move it over there, and we're gonna use the one that was over here using this. All right. Okay, there's no slot or anything on this side to hold it down, so what we're doing is we're just matching it up here. The problem is the SSD stuck to it. Okay, so you kind of want to hold that down, and then what you want to do is you want to actually line up the back of the SSD first. Okay, there we go. That, and then go ahead and drop that into place and stick that down. Make sure all of this is in the right place. Okay, let's go ahead and put this screw back in. Okay, so yeah, that's what was wrong. The Intel SSD went bad, and then it was causing problems with the boot. because it was trying to read that faulty SSD and it was taking a long time. So anyways, all we're going to do now is just reinstall Windows onto the SSD, and that should be it. If you need a video on how to do that, I do have other videos, I believe, where I show the install process, but I'm not going to show it in this video. Okay, so we're just going to snap all this back together again for the, I think, third or fourth and last time. All right, just get everything snapped back in, get all the screws in, and that's pretty much it. All right, again, hopefully this video helped you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share my channel with others, and I'll see you all in the next one. You're welcome to stay as I put back all these screws, but you already saw this process. All right, so let's go ahead and get all of these screws back in. And these magnets are annoying in there. There we go. Alright, last 4 screws up here. Go. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.